There's a real estate developer out of Los Angeles, California named Ramtin Ray Nosrati who has built some of the most jaw-dropping and incredible mega mansions the city has ever seen, and his latest creation has just hit the market. He loves to name all of his projects, and this one is named the Bel Air Escape. It's a 14,000 square foot masterpiece with wow factors in literally every room of the house, and it's now available for sale for just 26 million bucks. Spec homes around LA are a dime a dozen. The streets are littered with big white boxes, but a lot of them don't have that much soul or style. You're about to find out though that Ramtin spared no expense on his Bel Air Escape spec home, and it shows. Even Josh Altman described this as one of the greatest houses he has ever seen. I think you guys will agree with me that $26 million really actually seems like a bargain for this place. I mean, don't get me wrong, $26 million is a ton of money, but let's check it out together. You guys can let me know what you think. As far as the location goes, the home is sitting at 1033 Somera Road, so it's pretty private and a bit tucked away from all the action, but still only a short drive to the Sunset Strip in Beverly Hills. This general area is top notch though. It's the same region most of those other mega mansions are being built. Like you can see on the map here, the one is just a few streets over to the east. Okay, so here's the summary of the listing. We've got 26 million bucks at the top, 6 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, and I don't know why Zillow does this sometimes. It doesn't say the square footage, but we know it is 14,000 square feet. It's a brand new build, built in 2023. It's sitting on 1 acre, which is actually quite a bit considering this is a hillside house. I just have to show you guys this. It's basically the longest listing description ever. We're not going to read through this together, but check this out. It's like the agent wrote a novel when they're trying to describe this house. Kicking it off with the entry, there is a ton going on in this photo. We've got these water features to the left and the right, massive front door. That's got to be like 14 foot tall or something. Ton of wood detail everywhere, a living moss wall here on the right. Pretty epic entry. Zooming out a bit from that entry, this is what you see whenever you enter your gated driveway. This is one of like the living / family rooms in the house. You can see there's the wood slat walls here, a little fireplace in the corner, tons of glass, a lot of natural light, and we get a peek of the views from this shot. Speaking of the views, here is one angle of the views looking out over the pool. And this is what you see if you're looking the other direction towards the ocean. Lamborghini parked out front because why not? Okay, and here's one of the signature features that I've seen Ramtin do in a couple of his homes recently. This is like a living moss wall from what I understand. It wraps around the staircase here. It looks amazing. Apparently it doesn't really require much maintenance. It always stays really nice and green like this. My only concern though, to be honest, would be all of the bugs that might show up in this wall, but I'm sure he's thought that through. Pretty cool look. Here's what you see when you approach that kind of like windy staircase up past that wall. This is that same seating area we were looking at earlier, but facing the other direction. You can see over here is a bunch of wine storage, so that's probably like a temperature controlled wine room. Here's the main living room with a big TV on that wood slat wall. All the windows are opened up, looking out over the view at nighttime, so you got the pool lit up blue. This is sweet. The kitchen is, I would consider, kind of modest considering the size of the house. It's very, very nice, but it's kind of small and just tucked off to the side. I don't think that Ramtin really makes the kitchens like the star of the show in his houses. See, here's what I'm talking about. When you're standing back in the dining room area and looking back at the kitchen, it's just kind of tucked over there in the corner. I'm guessing there's more than one primary suite in this house. Here's one of them. It's got its own fire feature, its own patio, a ton of glass. In the bathroom, we've got probably some of the coolest wall tile or stone that I've ever seen in a shower before. I think that's the agate material. I'm probably not pronouncing that right. Huge master closet, 2 islands, tons of storage on the islands, tons of storage on the outside walls, a couple of mirrors, a little makeup station, a few chandeliers. There's a big rooftop deck with a TV, a fire feature, a bunch of seating, and then like an outdoor kitchen area. And then they round it out with a drone shot, of course. What a property. So there you have it. Let's do some math really quick on this thing for fun. So we've got a $26 million house. It is 14,000 square feet as far as I read. So he's priced at about $1,850 per square foot. That's pretty reasonable for what you get. For anybody not familiar with Ramtin Ray Nosrati, he's probably the most famous residential real estate developer in the world. He's a public figure for sure with over 1.5 million followers on Instagram. And on that Instagram account, he's obviously showing off the crazy houses that he's building, but also showing off his lavish lifestyle, including sitting courtside to see the Lakers, dining at some of the best restaurants in town, attending super lavish parties, and of course, mingling with celebrities and other high net worth people who are potential buyers of his crazy properties. Just 20 years ago, Ramtin was selling cell phones and wireless services before his first development project in 2003 when he bought up some old chicken ranches and built some tract homes. And by 2008, he switched over to build luxury spec houses where he believed it was just a safer bet to build houses for the rich who are going to be okay spending money in real estate no matter what's going on in the economy. Since 2008, Ramtin is focused on building mansions in Bel Air, Brentwood, Beverly Hills, Santa Monica, and the Palisades. Ramtin has built over 100 homes in total. He has clearly been incredibly successful with these builds, and according to the bio on his website, how Ramtin stands out from other builders is that he is the owner, designer, and contractor of these houses, so he is extremely hands-on with the builds from start to finish. Now, you guys know that I've been nerding out on real estate basically my entire adult life, but I'm serious when I say that I think that Ramtin is one of the best in the business. The thing that really sets his houses apart are that he makes a point to incorporate wow factors into literally every room in the house. He says the first thing you want to hear from the buyer when they open the door is wow. Just like we saw when we looked at that house earlier, these are not your typical run-of-the-mill houses. In fact, they're not even your typical run-of-the-mill mansions. They've got things like massive garages for your car collection, movie theaters that are decked out nicer than a Harkins, cannabis rooms where you can grow your own pot, huge wine cellars to store hundreds of bottles of wine, commercial-grade walk-in refrigerators, customized gyms and spas. These places have literally everything that you could ever need. They probably even have some things you don't need. A lot of the homes Ramtin has built over the years have faced some opposition due to ordinances around LA that limit how big of a house you can build on a lot. One way he's gotten around this, though, is he's building hillside homes that appear to be single story from the street, but when you flip around and look at the house from the other side, you can see that there are multiple levels, so he's able to fit way more house and way more square footage onto smaller lots while still adhering to LA's strict building criteria. Pretty creative strategy. I guess the only downside to this is that if you buy one of his houses, you probably are going to be stuck with multiple levels. But hey, if you don't like to take the stairs, these houses are obviously coming with elevators as well. Probably one of the biggest, most extravagant, and most well-known spec mansions that Ramtin has developed yet is known as the Brentwood Oasis. This is a monster of a home, even bigger than the one we were looking at earlier. It's located at 1047 Bundy Drive. He finished this one in 2021, listed it for $44 million, and it almost immediately sold for the asking price, exactly $44 million. The house has been featured all over the internet over the years, showing off his contemporary finishes, amazing views of the city, infinity edge swimming pool, home theater, and probably the most memorable feature, the custom Lakers-themed basketball court. I mean, it is a bit contemporary for my taste, but it is just so well done. What's weird about the story on this house, though, is that the buyer of this place, his name is Jeffrey Feinberg, already relisted it for sale not long ago. I don't know if he had buyer's remorse or if he just needed the cash or what. He renamed the house the Star Resort, and he started off asking $48 million bucks. He marketed the heck out of it, but eventually he had to drop the price to $43 million before dropping it again to $38 million. Then recently, they took the house off the market altogether. It's hard telling exactly why Feinberg was trying to sell the Brentwood Oasis so fast after buying it, especially when at his last price, he was on track to lose close to $10 million after commissions and everything. But if this house can't sell, I guess it just goes to show that now is not the greatest time to be trying to sell a mega mansion in LA, so Feinberg is going to have to suffer in this house a little while longer. Now, hey, I realize there's a lot of people out there who see these homes that people like Ramtin are building and think it's almost disgusting just how much money is being dumped into these places and how much they're selling for. And sure, at a glance, it seems absolutely unnecessary to litter the hills of Los Angeles with hundreds of mega mansions that are way bigger than the average person needs. But we also have to remember the positives. For one, the construction of these homes takes years and create tons and tons of jobs while they're being built. Plus, these old homes that are being torn down are often worn out and dilapidated anyway, so building new homes are generally improving the neighborhoods. And last, there's plenty of people out there who continue to buy these houses who just require more space and more privacy. So as long as there continues to be buyers, there's going to be a need for developers like Ramtin to build these lavish homes. I hope that you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, if you could hit the like button down below for me before you go, or let me know what you thought about the Bel Air escape down in the comments. I'll see you next time.